account for a consumer's decision to choose one product or service over another. So in short, a brand is just people's gut feeling about your product or service. Brand identity. Brand identity is the collection of visual elements that together help to identify a brand and distinguish it from others. It is the look and feel of your brand that creates a specific image. And in this presentation today, we are going to mostly focus on brand identity. Branding are the processes you take to build an image and create awareness for your brand. So when building your brand identity, the first thing that you do is brand discovery. But during brand discovery, there are certain things that you identify, and these things are your mission. Your mission is your why. So why are you in business? What do you wake up every day to do in your business apart from making money? Why are you in business? Number two is your vision. Your vision is your desired state. This is what you want to achieve. So these are the goals that you have set for your business, the big goal that you have set for your business to achieve in future. Your values are the beliefs that drive your business. So for example, here at ORAC, our mission is that we exist to be the partner for brand visibility, brand engagement, and brand affinity for clients as we create seamless and consistent customer experiences through branding. Our vision is growing and helping over 150 MSMEs in eliminating marketing constraints. Our values are creativity and solution, collaboration and relationship, integrity, and agility. So still at discovering your brand, the next thing you have to figure out is your positioning. Your positioning is your differentiate factor and your unique audience. So where do you lie in the market and who exactly are you serving? The next is your brand voice. Your brand voice is how you communicate with your audience, and your messaging are the words that you use to communicate with your audience. So brand voice and brand messaging, they go hand in hand. So if your brand voice, for example, if your brand voice is passionate, you'll want to use strong words that are cheerleading and motivating. If your brand voice is authentic, you'd want to use words that are honest and direct. If your brand voice is casual, then you'd want to use playful words in your messaging. So the second part is the basics of design structure. So these are the fundamentals of your identity design. And we are going to look at these three things: colors, typography, and shapes, and what they represent. So for forms, shapes, and patterns, we have forms, shape, and patterns with straight edges. These are things like triangles, rectangles, and squares. They signify stability and balance. Straight lines signify strength and professionalism, and they are also more masculine. So depending on your audience, if you're targeting a male audience, you might want to use these shapes in your brand identity. So round shapes and curves, circles, these are circles, ovals, and then ellipses. They signify unity, community, and friendship. Curves signify femininity. Rings will define marriage, partnership, or endurance. So if you have a female audience, you'll want to use round shapes. And also if your brand is built around community and unity, you'd want to use round shapes as well. Straight lines, vertical lines are associated with masculinity and strength, and horizontal lines signify tranquility and calm. So horizontal lines bring a cool vibe, and vertical lines are more masculine. Typography or font. So factors to consider when choosing the typography of font for your brand identity. The font should embody the character and spirit of your brand. It should be clear and legible while still maintaining readability. So if you expand your font to if you scale up your font to fit on a billboard, or if you scale it down to fit on a social media post, it should still be readable. Then we recommend that you use 2 to 3 fonts in your design. Then a rule of thumb is always to have one font being prominent than the other to draw attention to specific points in your design. You can do this by varying the size or the weight of the font. So the types of fonts that we have serif fonts. Serif fonts are traditional and they signify trust. Serif fonts have this extension here they have the extension here. So serif fonts are traditional and signify trust. They are more cultured and sophisticated. They're also authoritative. You'll find them being used mostly in the fashion industry, in academics, and also in culture industry. Sans serif fonts are modern and sleek. They signify simplicity and functionality, and they're also minimalistic. They are used mostly in industries where innovation is at the core, and also in the tech industries. Then script fonts are luxurious and feminine, so they are used by brands that are targeting women. Playful fonts are youthful and fun. They signify self-expression and individuality. They show confidence. They're used mostly in the industries that are creative and fun, and also that target a youthful audience. Colors. So factors to consider when choosing colors. Colors play an important role in how your brand is perceived and impacts how you attract and connect with your ideal customers. Colors can be used by brands to influence how people think, feel, and behave towards them. Color can also help you stand out from the crowd. So for example, if you're all in the room and all want blue, then nobody is standing out. But if one person comes and that person has worn yellow and the rest of us are wearing blue, then that person will definitely stand out. So how do you choose colors? So for a brand, you have to have a color palette that you use for your brand identity elements. And we recommend having 2 to 4 colors. The first color is your base color, which is your dominant or primary color. It should feature your most important value, and it is the color that you'll use the most. It is the color that you will be recognized with. Then the second color is your accent color. You can choose up to 2 accent colors. This is your secondary color, and it should emphasize your primary color. It should not overshadow your base color, and it should also not bleed into your base color. They should go well together. Your neutral color. This is the color that you'll use mostly for your text and your background. It shouldn't overshadow the other colors, and most of the time people choose black or white as their neutral color. So let's look at color psychology and what people associate, the feelings that are associated with different colors. So for red captures attention and it's the most intense color. So it's associated with passion, energy, action, and it also encourages appetite. You can use it for call to action buttons and website backgrounds, and also for your packaging. The best target market is people. If you want people to be filled with passion and action enthusiasm. Orange Orange represents creativity, adventure, enthusiasm, success, balance. It adds fun to any branding tool. You can use it where you want to draw attention, and the best target market is for people who need a creativity and inspiration, enthusiasm. Yellow evokes feelings of happiness and optimism and positivity. You can use it to highlight offers or for your incentive buttons and also for backgrounds and borders. And the best target market is that which you want to be filled with happiness and optimism for new changes in their lives by your brand. Pink is popular with a female audience. It revolves around femininity, playfulness, and love. You may use it to highlight key messages, and the best target market is for people is for women and people who are also playful. Green is connected with nature and money. It invokes feelings of growth, fertility, health, and generosity. The best target market is that which you want to be filled with a growth, gratitude, generosity, enthusiasm. Blue is associated with stability, harmony, peace, calm, trust. You can use it for guarantees, quality certification, and offers. The best target market is those who want safety and reliability and quality. You'll find blue being used mostly by banks. Purple is a royal color and is connected with power, nobility, luxury, wisdom, and spirituality. So purple is mostly used, you'll find it mostly being used by churches and spiritual institutions. So the target market is those who want to be filled with a freedom, loyalty, motivational and special enthusiasm by your brand. White is connected with innocence, goodness, cleanliness, humility. You can use it as backgrounds and where you want to emphasize and where you want your design to be readable and also to be clear. Black is connected with mystery, power, elegance, and sophistication. So on your brand tools, you can use it for text and also to show timelessness. The best target market is that which you want to be filled with an achievement lifestyle and importance, enthusiasm. Gray is connected with balance and intelligence. You can use it for headers and fonts. And if you want to target a wide audience, you can use gray as it appeals to the masses. Brown is an earthly color. It relates to comfort, security, and a down-to-earth nature. You can use it for your display banners, and the target market is that which you want to be filled with a natural value and dependability enthusiasm for your brand. So we can look at some brand examples and see how they have used the things that we've talked about, shape, typography, and color to evoke certain feelings and target a certain market. So for example, here we have Sony, and we can see that Sony has used black as its color. The typography is a serif font, and the structure, the form that the name Sony has taken almost looks like a rectangle. So this could signify sophistication and elegance. And also it's an old company. So the serif font shows that it's traditional, and it has also targeted a male audience. For Uber, we can see that the font they've used is a sans serif font, and we can also see the shape looks a bit curvy, and the colors they've used is black and white. So it definitely shows a little bit of luxury there, sophistication, and it has also targeted a wide audience. And you can also tell that it's from an innovative industry, and it's also a tech industry. And you can see that with the sans serif font. For Fanta, just looking at it, it just brightens up the mood. The color orange and the playful font that they have used definitely is targeting a youthful audience that wants fun and excitement. So next we are going to look at how to design your brand identity elements. So once you have chosen your color palette, your shapes, and your time, it's time to put them into use in your materials. So you have to design all your materials to stay on brand. Consistency is key to create the same experiences each time. So the brand identity elements that you will design include, but are not limited to, your logo, which is the face of your brand, your website, which is the home of your brand online, your graphics, which are the images you will use to communicate with your audience, your store. So if you have a shop, that's the store. Then social media, your content, your packaging. So if you're a product-based business, you'll also want to design your packaging. Then your promotional items, which are the things you'd use to promote your business, like t-shirts and banners, your business cards, and finally your photography. So you have to brand the photos you use to represent your brand to evoke certain feelings and experiences. So let's dive deeper into logos. The logo is the face of your brand. Your logo should always be simple. That means that it should be easy to recognize what it is. It should be scalable, meaning that if it's scaled up to fit on a billboard or scaled down to fit on a social media icon, it still looks. And it should be memorable. So it shouldn't be a design that is really complex that people cannot remember. Types of logos. The different types of logos that we have include a word mark. A word mark consists of the name of the brand, and it's good for brands that are trying to get their name out there. For example, you can see Google, which is just the name of the brand, as the logo. Brand mark, also known as pictorial mark, it consists of a standalone image, and it's mostly used by well-recognized and established brands. So the problem with a brand mark is that you can only use it if you are very established. And you need to be careful when using a brand mark, because people might misinterpret the picture that you have used. So for example, here we can see the Apple logo, and it is clear that it's an apple even without being told. So you have to use something that people can recognize easily. Combination mark consists of both the name of the brand and the image. It is the most common, and it offers flexibility, and it's also good for boosting brand recognition. So for here, like our Oracle branding logo, we can see we have the image here, the name of the company, and even the tagline. Letter mark, it consists of the initials of the brand name. It's used especially when the name is too long. For example, IBM stands for International Business Machines, but not many people will remember that long name. So just saying IBM makes it simple and memorable. And it also fits very well in small spaces. So that's the advantage of the letter mark. The emblem, it consists of badges, crests, and seal. It signifies heritage. It's used mostly by clubs and organizations. The problem with The problem with emblems is that they're not scalable and so they're not a good fit for digital brands. You'll find emblems being used mostly by football clubs and government organizations. The mascots represent a character or a person. They're used mostly by brands focused on children and families. They are welcoming, they're warm, they're memorable. So for example, we have the KFC logo, where we have the picture of Colonel Sanders. So that is a kind of mascot. And you can use a mascot if your audience is a youthful audience or you're targeting children. So finally, we have the brand style guide. Your style guide is a rule book for your brand assets. It outlines what your assets are and how to use them, the do's and the don'ts, and it helps your brand to stay consistent. You'll find that the person who designed or the team that designed your brand identity is not the one who's always going to be designing your materials in the future. So it's good to have the rule book that future teams can follow to make sure the brand remains consistent. So the things that you're going to include in your style guide are your logo, the do's and don'ts of your logo, your color palette, where you state the exact color codes, your typography, your patterns, your photography, and your icons. So let's now look at an example of a style guide and see what is contained in there. So here we have the style guide for this company called Snow Desert. And we started with the color palette, and here we've stated the exact color codes for the company. The RGB code, the RGB is used for digital. For digital, you'll use the RGB color codes. Pantone and CMYK are used for print, depending on the printer that you're using. So then here we show the primary logo. For Snow Desert, we had the pictorial mark and also the combination mark, where we have the picture and the name. It's always good to have a variation that you can use in different scenarios. Then we have the alternate logo, where we had a black on white logo and a white on black logo. So it's also good to put that in there and have it for use in different scenarios. And then we show how to space the logo to give it room to breathe. So you have to show how you will space it to give it room to breathe. You can see how that has been defined. The logo's do's and don'ts, you also have to put what to do and what not to do with the logo. So here we can see, do not scrunch up the logo, do not turn the logo, and also the background that you put the logo on, you have to put it in a background that contrasts the logo so that it is visible. And finally, we have the typography that we used for the logo and for the brand identity. So for the photography, you have to define the kind of photography that you're going to use for your brand. So you might decide whether your photography will feature human beings or it will feature women, men, or children, and also how will they be looking? Will they be happy and smiling, or will they be serious and professional? And also the kind of filters that you use for your photography. Then for the icons, you have to define the kind of icons that you're going to use for your brand. They have to be of the same family. The icons are the things that you're going to use on your stand out, and you can also build a community around your brand. We said that a brand is people's gut feeling about your product or service, and brand identity is the visual elements that together help to identify your brand. Branding are the processes that you take to build an image and create awareness for your brand. So when defining your brand, you have to state your mission, your vision, your values, your positioning, your brand voice, and your messaging. Then we said that straight lines signify stability and balance. Round shapes signify unity and community. Vertical lines are signify masculinity and strength, and horizontal lines signify tranquility and calm. So when choosing a type, you want to select a type that embodies the character and spirit of your brand, and it should also be clear and legible. And also select 2 to 3 fonts, not more. Then we talked about the different types of font: the serif font, sans serif font, script font, and the playful fonts. When choosing colors, how do you choose your colors? You choose a base color, which is your dominant color, an accent color, which is your secondary color, and a neutral color for text and background. Then we looked at the different colors and the color psychology that is associated with each color. Then when designing your brand identity elements, the things that you will design are your logo, your website, your graphics, your packaging, your photography, and many more. Then your logo should always be simple, memorable. Then the types of logos, we have word mark, the brand mark, the combination mark, the letter mark, the emblem, the mascot. Then finally, it was your brand style guide, and this is the rule book for your brand assets that helps your brand to remain consistent everywhere. So that brings us to the end of the presentation. I want to thank you all for following with me during this presentation on brand design. I hope that you have learned design strategies that you can use to grow your brand and be a leader in your industry. Thank you. Back to you, Monene.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Vanessa. That was very insightful, very resourceful. Yes. So we can take quick questions, and the questions can be from the presentation tonight or any other branding question you might have. And as we bring in the questions, we have shared a link on the chat. So kindly register, leave us your details, and that will help us to create a long-term resourceful relationship with you in terms of branding. Okay, anyone with a question? I saw a question from Scott that do we do logos? Vanessa, do we do logos?
Yes, we do logos.
There's a question from Mary Ndinda. What colors would you advise for a real estate agent? Vanessa, what colors would you advise for a real estate agent?
Okay, so for a real estate agent, you would definitely want people to trust you. So you can go with the color blue. And if you want people to feel like they are growing or they are advancing, you can decide to go with green. And you can also decide to go with black if you're selling high-end real estate. But mostly it comes down to the brand discovery. So when you're doing brand discovery, you look at who your audience is and what do they expect? What are they expecting from you? And also you do something called competitor research. So during competitor research, you look at what colors are your competitors using as well. So you might want to blend in and use the colors that they are using, or you may want to stand out and use a different color from what they are using.
Mary Ndinda, I believe that answer is satisfying. Then we have a question: what is the blue color about?
The blue color mostly signifies trust, and you'll see blue being used mostly by banks and even by hospitals. So it shows trust, it shows dependability. Blue is a very universal color. Men and women both like blue. So if you're targeting if you're targeting a big audience that contains both men and women, you may want to use blue. And there are also different variations of blue. So a baby blue would also be used by companies that are targeting children.
Perfect. I see Agizo raising a hand. Agizo, you're raising a hand. Do you have a question? You can unmute yourself and ask the question. Then any other question, you can put it in the chat. Anyone else with a question, put it on the chat, or you can unmute yourself after Agizo. Agizo, what's your question?
Thank you, Vanessa, for your presentation. It was really educative and impressive, and I really enjoyed it and learned a lot out of it. Basically, my question comes to the letters someone can use when he's making a design. Like, for example, you said that serif font, that's for tradition. So what's your advice to someone who is or who used the serif font before, and now we are on this generation? So what's your advice for that particular company?
Okay, so the serif font is a traditional font, but it doesn't mean that right now, if you're starting a company right now, you cannot use a serif font. If you use a serif font, it means it would give the opinion, or people would deem your brand as being a traditional brand, or being a brand that has been there for a long time. So if you see, if you're a brand that wants to have a little bit of heritage, you might want to use the serif font. Does that answer your question?
100% correct.
And you'll find also that the serif font is used a lot in the fashion industry. You'll find, because it also shows a little bit of elegance and a little bit of sophistication. So you can also use it if that is what you want to be perceived as.
Any other questions? Any question? Any branding question? Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I would like to ask if the public can know much of our services. What do we do exactly in branding? In case someone wants to ask beyond this, the services of Oracle branding.
Perfect. Vanessa, can I take that question?
Yes.
So, Oracle branding, we do integrated branding. And we classify that into three aspects. That is digital branding. And in digital branding, you have web development, you have social media integration and management, you have graphics, you have animation, you have content, you have paid advertising, and a few other strategies that go into digital branding. Then we have experiential branding, and this is experiential branding is basically creating a touch point between your brand and its customers through experiences and activities. Some brands choose to do conferences. Some brands choose to do. Some brands will set up tents in malls. Some brands will set up tents in schools, just to offer that experience to their customers firsthand. So that is experiential branding. We help you with customizing all those concepts that you need for those experiences. We also take care of the licenses, county licenses that may be needed or required. Then promotional branding, we break it down to your billboards, your TV, your radio, your newspaper, and then also there is giving out promotional items, things like T-shirts, things like water bottles, things like capes, calendars. Yes, and the trend currently is that for promotional item, choice is king. You either allow your audience to choose the promotional item you're giving, or you have to really understand your customer very well, that you know their needs, and so that you give them a promotional item that is very resourceful to them. For example, if your target audience is women and you're giving out a promotional item, um, a carrier bag, a branded carrier bag, will be very resourceful to that target audience. So those are our services, and we, like we said, we really enjoy offering them to our clients. Thank you.
I can see a question here on the chat.
Yes.
So Kevin John is asking,
Yes.
I'm making a food product, peanut butter. I used color yellow for my product sticker. Is it advisable to use that? So Kevin John, first I would like to know who is your target audience? Who exactly are you targeting with your peanut butter? Then next, the color yellow is a fun color, and it shows enthusiasm, and it's also really fun and youthful. So are you using it alone? Are you using the color yellow only, or what other colors have you also incorporated? If you can just answer that.
Okay, so I can actually show you the product. I came with it. So I used color yellow for the sticker, and then white and brown for the name.
Okay.
I don't know if can you see it?
Okay. Yeah, I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so looking at the product,
okay,
the color yellow is good because it's bright and it will stand out. But I don't know if it is blending well with the color brown on the sticker as well. That could, because for a product that will be on the shelf, you really want it to stand out. That even if I'm walking across the aisle, I can be able to see it, and it can stand out from the other peanut butters that are also there. Okay. So I would suggest you add another color that is complementary to yellow, because brown is more, it almost blends in with the yellow. so it
Okay.
wouldn't really stand out. So if you could add a color like blue there, or red, that would complement the yellow, I think it would make it to really stand out.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Can I just a slight addition? Thank you for that answer. So John, in color psychology, red is known to boost appetite. So some red might work well for the appetites. Someone like Scott is already salivating for the peanut butter.
Not only that, to KFC, you know, we need some chicken, my friend. Prof.
Somehow when you said the color red, Unene, it made me hungry. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm fat, but it just totally made me hungry, and then I felt like an idiot because you were right. Yeah, sorry, Isaac, I think I accidentally interrupted you.
No, it's okay, Prof. I was making fun of you, you know. Yeah.
So questions. I hope you're filling out the registration link. It will help us to build a relationship with you. So any question, any branding question, digital, experiential, promotional, or anything that has been presented tonight?
Yes, I had a question.
Yes.
For the peanut butter.
Yes.
Which is the best way to market a food product? Is it through video clips or through pictures, or both work?
That's a good question.
Thank you. Vanessa, you can go first.
You can use both, but you have to make sure that your graphics are really they're really creative, and they attract attention from the viewers. So you could use a mixture of both. There's nothing wrong with mixing it up, but use very high quality graphics that are really big, that capture the eye, and also make somebody hungry to want to eat the peanut butter.
Okay.
So
and another question. Yeah. So products like Coca-Cola have slogans like "Taste the feeling." Is it advisable for a food product to have the same kind of slogan?
The same exact?
Yeah, like a slogan for the product. Like Coca-Cola, theirs is just the feeling. Can you do the same with the food products?
Can I go first?
Yeah, you can do the same. Okay, go first, Monene.
Sorry, I've cut you short. So John, I'll start with the first question. Other additional strategies to market a food product is one, reviews. Reviews are, your reviews have to be very strong, and then testimonials. So your videos, part of your video strategy should be testimonials from someone like Scott. He can say how good your peanut butter is with even with chips. So that should be your some additional strategies for your food product. Then to your second question, language is very important in any brand, not just the food industry. In any brand, how you talk to your audience is very, very key. And your slogans should be one, very short, two, very simple, three, very memorable, and four, they have to relate to your brand and the benefit of that brand. So yes, you need to have a slogan that is very, very catchy and useful and helpful as well to your audience. Vanessa?
Okay, so the brand slogan should relate with the audience, as Monena said, and it should also tell your audience it should evoke certain feelings from your audience. So, for example, Coca-Cola, when they say taste the feeling, you can almost taste it. You know, there's that feeling that you get when you're drinking a Coke soda. So depending on what your product is, there's a certain feeling that you want to evoke. There's a certain emotion that you want to bring out. So your tagline should be able to bring that out.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
There's a question from, yeah, you can ask it. You can ask the question.
Yeah, so I wanted to know, I'm in real estate, and I asked a question about having red and black on a white background for the logo. Is that appropriate? And then next, I also do recruitment, and sometimes when we are marketing, people end up using Facebook to apply and not really using our website. So what should we do as a strategy?
Okay, I haven't understood where you said the logo is on a red and black background. What do you mean?
Sorry, I'm saying the logo, the colors for our logo is red and black. Those are the two colors that we use on the logo. And the background is usually white for that logo. Do you feel it's appropriate for a real estate company?
What audience are you targeting in the real estate industry? Are you selling high-end real estate or?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think it depends on the target. Can you show it? Can you share your screen or something and show us the logo?
Oh my, let me look for it. Okay,
Sorry,
so the
don't
host
stress yourself.
Sorry, Prof.
Oh, sorry. I was going to let Vanessa continue. If you don't have the logo, it's okay. Sorry, Vanessa, to interrupt.
Okay. Let me, as you look for the logo, let me try and answer the second question. You've said that people are finding you mostly.
Sharing,
I think now you can share. Okay, so to answer the second question, that people are finding you mostly on Facebook and not on your website. So that means that the people are not finding your website easily. There's nothing wrong with people finding you on Facebook, but if you want to drive more traffic to your website, you may try to first put your website on your Facebook page. And number two, people might be finding it easier to talk to you on Facebook other than going all the way to your website. And there's nothing wrong with that, because your social media is also another shop for your brand or for your business. So I don't know what would be wrong with that. Then you can also try to market your website. You can try to boost posts that drive traffic to your website. Maybe Monene can add more on that.
Thank you, Vanessa. And just to add on that, so basically people want easy and fast processes to anything. And we've become a very, like they say, a microwave generation. We want fast things. And so for your audience, Facebook is fast and easy for them. So that is where your focus should be as a brand. Then you can basically have all your goals, marketing goals on Facebook rather than your website. On the other hand, you can drive traffic to your website using Facebook ads. That would be my approach to that question.
So are you able to share screen now and let us see the logo?
We have 17 more minutes. So as the logo is being shared, we can be asking more questions. 17 more minutes to go. Can we answer the question without the logo? Is it? Can you just tell us the target audience?
I think he has disappeared. I don't think he's with us.
Okay, any questions? Any questions?
If we don't have questions, maybe we can take a few comments. You can tell us what you've learned. Okay, so we can see the logo there.
I think it's a beautiful look.
Yes, looks really amazing.
But I don't know the target though. It makes me I have mixed feelings.
Yeah, it's offices and corporate or apartments in high end. I don't know. Maybe you can tell us your target audience.
Yes, we started with targeting high-end clients, but then we've also decided to come down a little bit to medium. Like not only targeting high-end, but also including some middle-income people.
Okay. The colors, so you've used a red and black gradient for the picture, then red and a little bit of white and black. So it's a good logo. The only thing I would have a problem with is, I don't know, does it look, it looks a little bit not very well designed in the like when you read the property management, the words are really scrunched up together such that And I'm also wondering if it's put on a billboard, or if I'm seeing it from afar, will I be able to see it clearly? But it's a beautiful logo. I also don't think it's really visible. I don't think it really stands out. What do you think, Monene?
So maybe he should bold the property management words. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
make it like 3 lines instead of just 2 words.
Yeah, or make it the same size as the one stop, and the property. You could enlarge the one stop to align on both sides with the property management.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But I think the logo part is beautiful. The housing and the different color, the buildings
the housing,
and everything.
Yeah, housing is beautiful, but I don't know about the key. It could also, it also depends what are your, there are other things that we talked about in the discovery, like your values. What exactly are you selling to people? So if I see a key, maybe you're telling me, home ownership or something like that. So are you selling home ownership? Are you selling rentals? So that also depends.
Thank you so much for your input. We'll work on that.
Perfect. I think I have no other addition. Yes, it's a beautiful logo. Now the few adjustments that you've recommended.
Okay.
Any last questions? We have 12 minutes to go. Comments?
Yes, my name is Ngebe.
Yes.
I would like to congratulate Vanessa because of what she has said. I'm a sales practitioner as opposed to a person based in marketing. But I think what she has communicated to us has helped us all understand that branding is an important person. Is an important part of the sales process. I would also like to say that every time that people want to sell, and when they are working with marketers, they need to understand what the idea is that the marketers are pursuing. And I think it has been clearly spelled out today. For me, I will say that she has really helped us to see that it actually makes a difference, so that we can utilize the scientific assessments that the marketers have used, the mathematical assessments that they have used, and it can make a difference for us. So congratulations, Vanessa. Well done.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you for the wonderful comments. I'm glad that you learned something today and you were able to understand. We can take comments from others as well. You can tell us what you learned, or what you understood, and what you will go and implement in your own brand. So we can take some comments.
I would just say good job. I think I'd echo everyone. Good job. And as for me, I think I'm going to log off now because I'm old and I'm hungry. I want to eat dinner. I just taught a class before this, so I'm going to drop off. Good meeting, everyone. There's a lot of you I don't know. A lot of you I do know, so it's good to see everyone. I think Auric Branding, I think you're going places. I think as a university at the USIU side, we're excited to partner with you if you still allow us to partner with you, because we still need your help. So we look forward to working with you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. You may go and have your dinner.
Amen.
Comments or questions? I think the last two.
Yes, question to Vanessa and you also. Just for the last question, what will be the most appropriate colors for a private security company? You know, it has an eagle on it, an eagle head on it. So what color should we use for that logo?
Okay, so for a security company, you want to signify trust and security as well. So the color that I would recommend is blue, of course, because of trust. You can also use black for just to show a little bit of authoritativeness. You could also use gray there, or yeah. So but mostly I would recommend blue because of the trust and the security part. Munene, what would you recommend?
We can see the logo, and wow, it doesn't look very corporate. It doesn't look very professional. I think that's my first impression. Vanessa, what
Yeah,
do you?
it's also not very simple. I'm wondering how it would look if it's scaled down or scaled up. It's not really simple. Yeah, and as I've said, doesn't look professional.
And on the right
and also the gradient.
Yes.
The gradient that you've used, I wouldn't recommend. It's kind of a pink. It looks like pink and then purple and then blue. So I would recommend that you go with a solid color here, since if this is the security company, solid color would signify more of stability and security. This one looks more fun, more hype.
It's very playful.
Yeah, even the font, I wouldn't recommend that font.
Someone to do this job.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend the font as well. I would suggest that you use something with heavier weight other than the slim font.
And even the dimensions. The dimension of the
dimensions. Yeah.
So Mr. Is it Odunga? Is it Odunga? I think you have some work there.
Yes.
Yes, we can help you with that. So last comments, questions as we wrap up. It's been very wonderful. Again, for me, I'd like to echo the words of everyone else. Vanessa, you've been very amazing and very resourceful and insightful. We've learned a lot. Yes, things that we will actually put to action. So is there Any last question, comment? Vanessa, what would be your parting shot?
Before she gives, where are you guys located?
We are at USIU, Frida Brown Center, 3rd floor. At the incubation center.
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Odunga.
Yes, yes.
Yes, but we can have a conversation after the webinar.
Okay, we can talk so that we see these branding issues.
Perfect. Kindly inbox me, chat me your number here.
Okay, I'll do that.
Perfect. So Vanessa, your parting shot?
So my parting shot, it has been an amazing meetup, online meetup. I've enjoyed presenting to you guys. I hope that you've understood, and I hope that you are going to use the strategies that we have talked about today. Also, please fill in the registration form if you haven't filled in, so that we can also be able to send you the PDF for your perusal later on, and also to just maintain that relationship with us. We are a branding company. We love branding, and we really love it when our clients succeed and meet their goals and objectives. So I hope to see you here next week as well for our third trading. Yeah, so that's my parting shot, and I wish you all a good night.
Perfect. So next Wednesday we'll have the branding scorecard, and it's our third and final webinar on branding. But we can, if we get more requests, we can do another one. But for next week will be the last one. Basically, branding scorecard is how you marry your digital branding, your experiential branding, and your promotional branding. So once again, it's been amazing. It's been awesome. And we hope that your brands will grow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, guys. You can leave at your own pleasure now. See you next week.
Good to see you, Wilma. Good to see you, Ivera.
Thank you. Good to see you too. Happy to be in the session.
Perfect.
Welcome.
Good to see you, Mary Ndinda.
To see you, Munene. Glad I've really learned a lot. I'll be tuned in for next week, so please share the.
Perfect. We appreciate the support. Let's meet next week. Thank you so much. Even to our Facebook viewers, thank you, thank you, thank you. V.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Ume and Facebook.
Element Facebook. Eish.
You can also
Ban.
end the recording. End the recording as well.
Copy.